Alright guys, so in this video we're going to take a look at SWRT. We're going to look at the win rates for all the units this season, and then maybe suggest some nerfs and buffs for the upcoming balance patch. So let's get right into it. So, looking here at G3 RTA, we have of course Oliver, rank 1, 51.52% pick rate. It's insane that he has been this viable for so long. It feels like it's been Oliver meta for at least 3 years now, and I'm honestly, I don't know about you guys, I'm really sick of it. I am so sick of it. But look here we have a 49.5% win rate. It's like, I mean, it is sub 50%, but to be honest, when you have this pick rate, I think you could probably throw the win rates out the door. Like, everybody knows how strong Oliver is, and that's why he's number 1 here. So in my opinion, I still think he should be nerfed a bit. Either increase the cool time of skill 3 by 1, with no cool time basically, skill 3, skill 2, proc, skill 3, skill 2, you just lost. Or make it a 24 lead. Like, the kit for a 33 lead is just, it's still too strong, in my opinion, of course. So yeah, Oliver, definitely hoping for some kind of a nerf there. Sekhmet, rank 2, definitely took the place of Sauger after he got nerfed, which he did also take a skill 3 cool time increase nerf, and that just basically wiped him off. I mean, he's like way down here, I think, which is insane. But yeah, Sekhmet basically took Sauger's spot. We have a 41.45 pick rate, pretty insane as well. Actually has a higher win rate than Oliver, but I mean, which is actually kind of crazy to think about. Think of all the missed, like, AC res checks you just straight up lose to. But her kit is also pretty insane. Like, armor break, heal block on the skill 2. Attack break on skill 1 is really nice too. And of course, having the strip reset. Really strong. And then I don't know why they keep doing this with cool time increase units, but they give them attack bar reduction, which I hate, because how do you counter cool time increasing units? You pick passive units, right? Like, units with decent, like, Verd, Mayoing, or whatever. But then how do you counter those units? Attack bar reduction. So they just, like, keep combining those two skill effects, which makes it that much harder to deal with them. And just another rant, that when they gave Sekhmet that buff last, I don't know, a patch or two ago, it also killed my Swift Jamire counter pick. So I can't use that anymore, right? Because it desyncs the team. So yeah, Sekhmet, I don't think she really needs a nerf. She's just very strong. I'm not sure how you would nerf her, to be honest. I don't know, maybe revert the attack bar reduction buff. That would help me a lot, please. Moving on, we have the water orc guy. What can I say about this thing? This thing does everything. It really feels like we're in a, like, toolbox meta or something, where you have units that just, they do everything. They strip or steal buffs, they stun, they heal, they CC, absorb bar, right? He's definitely fits that category, right? He has freeze on skill 1. It's a steal beneficial effect, not strip, it's steal, and it's also like a mini Wusa hit, so there's some damage in there. Into a brand, which is like, why why have the brand on top of all that already? With high base speed, skill 3 absorb, freeze, heals. I don't know why did they give him so much? I mean, he was already fine before the healing buff, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, 51.69% win rate. Hopefully they take a look at this guy, because he's just insane, right? This is Trinity Force right now. It's very hard to, I mean, it's a very solid lineup. It's hard to deal with. Giana, no surprise here. An LD with a 4th on the pick rate. Well, it makes sense. She is a very old LD5, so. But 51%. Giana, how do you nerf Giana again? I don't know. They already made her inconsistent, which didn't really change how you play it. It just made her, she's gonna randomly lose a game if the Velajuel doesn't get strip stunned, right? Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. They probably won't touch Giana. They'll just keep buffing the counter picks to her. So I don't really have any suggestions for this one. We're just going to move on. Seara does not need a buff or a nerf, in my opinion. 49% win rate. I think she's perfectly fine. You're going to get games where, you know, it's the ac-res check thing. Like, she misses the bomb, it's over. But I think the pros definitely, apparently outweigh the cons, right? Speed lead, skill 2 bomb damage, right, is still pretty good. And enables a lot of comps. Water Twin Angels, 27%. I don't think Water Twins need a nerf at all. They're pretty solid, I would say. Nothing's too... it feels like nothing's too crazy with it right now. I would say before Sagar got nerfed, it was maybe a bit of a problem because of the cool time reduce. Right, you'd basically get in these matches where it's like Gani Hathor basically, or at least it feels like it with Sagar, but maybe since Sagar kind of took that nerf, it's probably fine. Haegang, this is insane. We have Haegang up here at a 26% pick rate. less than 47% win rate. That is, what happened? Like, so many people complain about Haegang, me being one of them as well, but of course it doesn't hurt me as much as other people since I go for attack bar picks, you know, Charlotte, Chandra. But yeah, 47% win rate. I mean, they're not going to hit this. So I don't think so if it's this bad, just straight up based off the stats, right? But if I had to nerf it, I would definitely hit the attack bar gain on cleanses. Right, that kind of just turns him into a ragdoll for no reason. I always felt like that was a bit too strong, and it wasn't really needed, but they're probably not going to do anything to him. Moving on, Juno. I think Juno's fine. Right, like how else would we deal with all of the LD, you know, Exodia comps like Lora, Giana, Seara, Maxi, Nephthys? Like, don't touch Juno. I think Juno kind of needs to be strong. So yeah, it definitely shows here almost a 51% win rate, 26% pick rate, really good. Velajuel and Chandra, which was the old Trinity 4, is actually sitting about a little bit above 50% win rate. High pick rates here, 25%-ish. Both, I think they're pretty solid. I don't think you really need to touch these at all. I used to think Velajuel's skill 2 was a bit strong for a 2-turn cooltime, right? I mean, it's an armor break, defense scaling, damage, heal. Again, on a 2-turn cooldown, like that's kind of insane. Imagine if Wusa's skill 2 was on a 2-turn cooltime. Wouldn't you think that's kind of broken? I mean, it's not exactly the same. I think it's comparable, but yeah, I always felt like the constant healing armor break from Vela was a bit too strong, but other than that, I think he's fine. I don't think they'll hit him, of course, but Chandra, on the other hand, I think Chandra's fine. It's just, I don't know why they keep giving units auto crit. Like, I kind of like the fundamental rock, paper, scissors aspect of the game. You know, a lot of mobile RPGs use that, of course, but yeah, it's kind of annoying when how many of you have lost like a 1v1 with Chandra? Your wind unit just gets stunned over and over and, you know, is taking a ton of damage because it crits. Yeah, let me know if that's ever happened to you, but I think that's a bit too good. Like, maybe just make the skill 1 have 100 crit rate, and then that way it can still glance, and, you know, element advantage still matters a bit when facing him. Other than that, I think it's fine. Okay, Lora. This is the biggest offender, I would say, out of everything. 24% pick rate, but with 53%. This is G3, by the way, so this is ridiculous. Even after all of the hits she's taken, still at a 53% win rate. I mean, she does everything. Buffs your team. Multi-hit strip, that means your team's gonna take a ton of damage. And then if she viral procs into a stun slow, which is very strong too, and then she has built-in Vio on the skill 1, like, This unit is absolutely insane. And of course, in 120 base speed, by the way. Which reminds me, I was in Goodwill the other day, and I fought some P3 guy, and his Vile Lora with the same speed lead outsped my 325 Swift Charlotte. And of course, it violent procced after using Seal 3. I was just like, dude, I'm done. How are you P3, man? Anyway, yeah, Lora, how would you nerf this? It's really hard to say. Do you just keep lowering the strip chance on the skill 3, or do you just remove the strip chance altogether? But then I guess that's how she was before she got buffed and nobody really picked her. So it's I really don't know. You know, maybe they could remove the speed awakening, maybe just make her a 105 base speed unit. I think that would be a bit more fair, and just maybe leave the kit alone. Could be an option, but yeah, this unit is just a bit ridiculous, I would say. Vanessa's fine, Ethna's fine. Sonia's a unit I definitely have a few problems with. Not necessarily the skill 1 or skill 2. I think that's all fine. Not even the damage scaling aspect of the passive, right? She does more damage as the gap between the speed gap between two units is, right? It's really the glancing into attack bar gain, I think, is a bit too punishing, right? I mean, she gets the glance passive like Douglas, but then 50 bar gain when it procs, that's just way too much. I think they should probably tone that down to 25% so that you can actually try to go for a trade into her. Or just rework that part of the passive entirely. Maybe instead of giving attack bar gain, she just, nullifies a hit or something. I don't know. So yeah, I think that's the only recommendation for Sonia. Just hit maybe the attack bar gain on the passive. More, I don't have too big of a problem with more. It does kind of suck for me. More counters my comps pretty well, I'd say, now that it gets an attack buff, which means it cuts in, gets a chance to stun Zerath, and then on top of that, it does reduce the damage output because he's taking damage, of course. So, but yeah, I don't think they're gonna do anything to more. It's like probably okay. Kind of a fun unit too, if you build it like the Fat Rage set. We got TL next. What can I say? I mean, again, one of the bigger offenders apparently. 52.8% win rate in G3. Pretty high pick rate, 17%. Yeah, it's an old LD5, so a lot of people have it. But yeah, this win rate's very high. This is after he took that damage scaling nerf too. So like, I don't know. What do you do? I'm not sure that you can really hit him again. I mean, they did nerf Ragdoll, which was kind of a surprise last patch. So maybe they would look at this guy. But again, like, what do you hit? Like the, I don't think you can hit skill 1 or skill 2 because you're going to mess with the other pandas. It's got to be the passive. So like maybe less attack bar gain. I don't know. Miles, as much as I hate Miles, 46% win rate. I don't think we needed to talk about it. It's just, I just get annoyed by a Vio unit that can outspeed my Swift sets. But apparently 46% win rate. Moving on. Leo's fine, 50%. Irene, I've actually been struggling to this unit. I think it's pretty strong. Mainly again because I don't like that the skill 3 can't glance, so you can just use it into win units, and I don't know. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but it seems pretty strong. There's a lot of these just single target shutdown, right? Like Sekhmet resets a unit, Ethna, does tons of damage, stuns a unit, and then you have an Irene that'll just seal a unit away. It's kind of how things have been going. But yeah, I guess 49% win rate is probably not going to get looked at. I think it's fine. It's like her first season that she's actually been played quite a bit, I would say. So yeah, I think these units are fine. I think that was really it. This thing just got buffed. I haven't played against a lot of meetings, but it does seem very good and annoying. 52% win rate. Definitely very strong. I think these guys are okay. Okay, Light Gojo with a 50. Is that higher than Lora? Oh my god. 53.15. He's higher than Lora. 8,700 games. I don't get it. I remember people were asking for buffs on him too. I don't know. This might be LD enabled or something. But, you know, it definitely has a really solid kit. Speed lead, multi-hit, strip. Is it strip absorb or strip decrease bar or something like that? And then into a cleanse damage. Damage hit thingy. I don't know. And then maybe if they were going to nerf him, they would take away the attack bar gain from the skill 3. I know it does something like if it's on cool time, he gets bar when allies are debuffed or something like that. Maybe he doesn't really need that. I mean, yeah, interesting though. 50, that's the highest win rate, I think, out of all of them. It's crazy. Man, Ragdoll, less than 50%. I don't know why he got nerfed in the first place out of all the other LD5s to hit. Doesn't really make sense to me. Yeah, Ragdoll's down bad a bit. Still a good unit, of course. Buff Ragdoll? Huh? Maybe. Don't need to talk about Verd. I think these are fine. Yeah, these are fine. Oh my god, Zeratu is actually the... Zeratu is the OP one, apparently. Yeah, this is, I think, again, probably a few really strong players. Obabo. I think Takuzo is using it a lot with Eleanor. But yeah, there's a lot of Saren comps enabling this thing, I think. But yeah, I don't even 53% win rate. I don't even think Zeratu needs a nerf at all. I think he's fine, at least the games when I play against it. But yeah, 53.6. That's pretty insane too. I don't know. Maybe drop the healing a bit on the passive. Like that's about it, right? And then, so, this is fine. Veronica, I mean, yeah, I guess Veronica's fine. Every Veronica owner will complain that she misses and then she loses the game. But then if you ever play against Veronica, it's like, I have to pivot full passives now or run the Jamire Nem Trap. But yeah, I don't expect any Veronica nerfs. I think she's in a much more balanced state than she used to be, right? The skill 2 was just doing so much damage, and I think it's still doing a ton of damage, I've noticed, but you know, probably still okay. Silver, this unit's pretty busted, I would say. 52.5 win rate. Again, it's one of the very unique 33 speed lead that slow, immunity, and then absorb. Solid unit. I don't know how you nerf it. I really don't. Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing for this thing. I mean, it's hard countered by Juno, so maybe it's okay. Okay, maybe the last unit we talk about here is Eleanor. Oh my god. This one's actually the highest one. 53.75. I think that's the highest one. Definitely lower on the pick rate, of course, but she is the sack queen of RTA. Absolutely annoying to play against for any comp. Like if you're a CC player or a cleaver, she kind of counters both. Again, it's more of a sack pick, but I think like glance plus anti-crit, maybe you just remove the anti-crit passive, just that way a Chroma's the only one that has that, and she becomes a little bit more unique. But I think, yeah, maybe just taking something away from that so she's not just good and do everything would be nice. She does get, she gets hard countered by bulwarks, and then you can maybe bruiser her out, right? When she's in human form, she is dropping her stats by quite a bit, and she's very squishy. But yeah, that kind of requires you to pivot pretty hard into it, which, I don't know. That's kind of not fun. But yeah, this thing is a bit too strong, apparently. And maybe I'll just scroll down a bit more. Anything? Yeah, I'll chroma like way down here. Julianne's win rate actually really equalized. That's pretty interesting. Because he didn't really get nerfed that hard, but now he's... I wasn't he above 53% last season? But yeah, that's pretty interesting. Because I don't think the skill 2 nerf really hurt him that much. It must be something in the, you know, maybe Jeongnam or something. Something up. I mean, Oliver. Yeah, I mean, Oliver Jeongnam, maybe. Well, maybe not Jeongnam, but Oliver, of course. And Irene. Maybe Irene is pretty good into him, too. But yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. Volantis way up here. Yeah, I mean, for nerfs, if I had to sum up, like, what I'm really hoping for the most, it's definitely Oliver. We've had this Oliver meta for the past 3 years. I think it's time. Hit him again. Oliver, they're not going to do anything to Giana, I don't think. I think it's really Oliver, Lora for me. Those two are just super strong. Sekhmet, I mean, yeah, and Jeongnam. Oliver, Lora, Jeongnam. I'm tired of these like toolkit, do everything units. Is there anything else? Sonia, maybe it's time for Sonia to take a hit. I mean, like the whole meta is shaped around, like most builds are shaped around Sonia's a lot of the time, right? Like everything's minus wind nowadays. Teal just got nerfed, what, like 2 patches ago? Be interesting to see if they hit him again, but maybe not this soon. But yeah, interesting. He does have a pretty high win rate right now. So yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.